Good evening. Back with another word, and this one is coming from Second Chronicles, 26th chapter, and won't be long. This is about Uzziah, King Uzziah of Judah, or Uzziah. But he was 16 years old. He was a young man when he began to reign, and his dad was also a king of Judah, Amaziah, and he took his dad's place after his father had passed. They were from kings of the tribe of Judah, but the word says, starting at verse 4, that he did that which was right in the sight of Yahuwah, according to all that his father Amaziah did. So he was living a righteous life. He was doing what pleased the Most High. And verse 5 says, and he sought God in the days of Zechariah, who had understanding in the visions of God. And as long as he sought Yahuwah, God made him to prosper. He made him to prosper. So he blessed him. As long as he sought God, God blessed him. And so he went forth, verses 6, down says he went and warred against the Philistines, and he broke down walls and Ashdod, and he built up cities, and it says God helped him with the Philistines and against the Arabians. So none of his enemies were able to stand, against him, because whoever, I'm sure you've heard, whoever made themselves an enemy with you have made themselves an enemy with God. So God fought with him. God fought for him, And so it says, and his name, in verse 8, his name spread abroad even to the entering in of Egypt. So his name, that will be like your name going to the realm of secular or the worldly, people that are not seeking God, spiritual mind. They're not seeking God and not spiritual minded, but enslaved in their minds and enslaved to sin. Bondage, people that are in bondage, because Egypt represents bondage. So, but his name even went there. People that were in bondage started hearing about this man. That's how God was building him up and making his name great. His name started to spread. It says, for he strengthened him exceedingly, very much so. God was blessing him, and the favor of God was on this man's life so much. Everything that he do, everything that he did, everything that he touched was blessed. Because verse 10 goes on to say, he built towers in the desert. He digged many wells, for he had much cattle, both in low country and in the plains. Husbandmen also. Like, this man had so many animals that he had to hire farmers because he had so many pastures. It said vine dressers in the mountains. Like, he had planters because he had harvests of grapes and stuff, fruit that grew on the vine in the mountains. and in Carmel, for he loved husbandry. He loved farming. He was good at it. And God blessed the work of his hands. Like everything this man touched was blessed. So it says he had, verse 11, he had a host of fighting men that went out to war. And these men that went out, his army, because he was the king. So he had, mighty men of valor. And he made weapons for them. You can go on and read this in your spare time, but this is in verse 14. It says, and he prepared for them throughout all the hosts shields and spears and helmets and habergeons and bows and slings to cast stones. So like he made an arsenal for his army. Like the man was skillful in weaponry. It says, and he made in Jerusalem, verse 15, engines invented by cunning men to be on the towers and upon the bulwarks, to shoot arrows and great stones withal. So he was an innovator. He was the men he hired inventors. So he was like a forerunner of when it came to weapons. Like he was a innovator. He knew what he wanted, and he got the people assembled to get it. God blessed him to have inventors around him that could come up with his ideas. This was a man who had grand ideas that would come up and bring his visions to life. God gave him divine connections. These men were his destiny helpers and divine connections. And it says, and his name spread far abroad. God blessed this man so much, the fame of his name began to spread across the land. And it says, for he was marvelously helped till he was strong. Marvelously helped. Oh, God blessed him. Because see, when he was seeking God with every move that he made. So you can't go wrong when you seek God first, because he's not going to tell you nothing wrong. He's not going to lead you on the wrong way. He's not going to lead you to what ain't right. It says in verse 16, this is the catcher. But when he was strong, his heart was lifted up to his destruction. For he transgressed against Yahuwah his God, and went into the temple of Yahuwah to burn incense upon the altar of incense, which was something that he wasn't supposed to do, because he was not a Levite. He was not a priest. But his heart got lifted up because he began to see like everything he touched was blessed. Everything he did went right. Nothing he did failed. And because the fame, he was being made, he was being known, and his name started spreading. And people were recognizing him wherever he went, and people were hearing about him and the things that he did. This brought him fame. This made him renowned. None of his enemies could stand before him. The Most High was with him. And the thing about it was, he was marvelously blessed. Marvelously When something is marvelous, it's fantastic. Marvelously means phenomenally. Marvelously means very well done. He was marvelously helped. He was helped so good until people marveled at it. People were amazed at how blessed this man was and at how God blessed him. Because marvel is in the word marvelous. And he was marvelously blessed. People were shocked. People just couldn't do nothing but, some people just mouth drop. They couldn't do nothing but just look. Because that's how marvelous God was helping this man. I want you to get it. Whatever he put his hand to was blessed. All because he put God first. You see? When you put God first. When you put the Most High YAH first. Everything you do is blessed. And the thing about it is, you still in this flesh now. When you pray, stay humble. When you become marvelously blessed and your name starts spreading, and the world and the people in bondage start hearing about you, your name starts spreading to the gate, and your ideas start coming to fruition. Because the destiny helpers, the inventors, the people that can make your ideas a reality. When they come into your life, and when those things that you love doing are blessed, because see, the man loved farming, and so all of his farms were blessed. And all of the things that he farmed were blessed. His cattle and his vineyards. Don't forget God. Don't forget the Most High YAH. When you are marvelously blessed, when people start seeing you coming up, and seeing the glory of the Most High, and seeing Him fight for you, don't forget the Most High. Don't forget the Creator of all. Don't forget who got you there. Don't forget who helped you. Because it's not in your own strength that you are getting there. See, when your heart is strengthened, that means your confidence, your belief, he had started to believe in himself. Everything he touched was blessed, so he started thinking that he couldn't do no wrong. He forgot. He forgot about God. He got so confident in himself. That is the problem. He got confident in himself. When you get confident in yourself, then you are in your flesh and no longer in the spirit. And when he got confident in his flesh is when he made his mistake. Because if you continue reading on, you will see where the man went into the temple like he was one of the Levite priests, one of the consecrated and sanctified men of the temple. They went in and kept the temple. Now, if you know anything about the Levites, they were set apart for that. Only the Levites were supposed to go in and keep the temple. Like, you had to be holy to go in there. You wasn't supposed to. Couldn't anybody just go in the temple. And even the Levites, if they wasn't living a holy and consecrated, separated life, they had to tie a rope around one leg, the ankle. Because if they went in unclean before the presence of the Most High, they would drop dead. And if they drop dead, then the ones outside of the temple would just pull on their rope and pull them up out of there. Oh yes, it's in there. It's in the word. It's in your word. Read about the Levites. So you couldn't go in the temple no any kind of way. But this man got so confident in himself that he decided he going up in the temple and he going to burn some incense. This man had put himself in a place where he wasn't supposed to be. He had got beside himself and outside of himself. So the word is, when God bless you, when he marvelously bless you and people are marveled at what he's doing in your life, and you see him blessing the work of your hands and everything you touch, and your name is being made great, your name is starting to spread and the fame from it, and you're starting to become renowned, don't forget who got you there. Don't forget how you started. Because he started out seeking. He started out with a good heart and doing right. And he was praying, seeking the Most High before he did anything. So don't forget who got you there. Don't leave him out. You can't afford to leave him out. Hallelujah. Same way you start, that's how you need to finish. And stronger. Hold on even tighter to him. Hold on to his unchanging hand. And don't let go. Because the more he accumulated, it could have been the more problems. The more he accomplished was the more responsibility. The word said, to whom much is given, much is required. So he should have really been seeking the Most High then, but instead he got lifted up in himself. Strengthened in his own flesh. His confidence got the best of him. He got cocky. And that's when the transgression, he transgressed against the Most High and his own destruction came. Because his heart got lifted up. Heart being lifted up means prideful. He got full of himself. Don't get full of yourself when God marvelously bless you. Don't get full of yourself when you start to blow up. Don't get full of yourself when you start to glow up. It goes on to say that, he went in there, the priest, Azariah, The priests went in after him, and 80 priests of Yahuwah that were valiant men. Like, these were strong warring men, valiant, courageous, brave. They went in that temple after him. What are you doing? Who do you think you are? What's going on? What are you doing here? And they withstood Uzziah, the king, and said unto him, It appertaineth not unto you, Uzziah, to burn incense unto Yahuwah, but to the priests, the sons of Aaron, that are consecrated to burn incense. Go out of the sanctuary, for you have trespassed. Neither shall it be for your honor from the Most High Yahuwah, your Elohim. This ain't for your honor, man. This ain't gonna look good for you. Go out from here right now. Get out of here. You done trespassed. This ain't for you to do. You done got out of line. You done got out of place. You got so full of yourself. You thinking you could do stuff that you ain't got no business doing. You good at farming and inventing stuff. You ain't got no business handling temple business. You doing kingdom work over there. You doing kingdom work. This temple business. And you know what verse 19 says? Uzziah got mad. The man got mad. That's how much that pride had him lifted up. You can't tell me what to do. I'm King Uzziah, and everything I do is good. Everything I touch is gold. Go and fight with me. Everything. Go and fight for me. I'm blessed. I'm blessed and highly favored. You can't tell me what I can do and what I can't do. God bless me so much. I got his favor. I can do what I want. I can go and heal this God's house. I can go and heal. No, don't get beside yourself. Because, yeah, you blessed and highly favored. But stay in alignment. Don't get out of alignment with God. Don't get out of alignment with the Most High, Yah. Because when you get out of alignment, then you treading on dangerous territory. And that's what Uzziah did. He got out of alignment. He stepped out of line. God had gave him a territory and enlarged it. And he stepped out of his territory. He was on the wrong territory. He was in the priesthood territory. He was on consecrated men territory. There's a difference between a king and a priest. Let a king do what a king do, and let a priest do what a priest do. I'm saying all this to say, whatever your calling is, you do what your calling is. Okay? And let the other one who got the other calling, let them do what their calling is. If God call you to teach, teach. And let the prophet prophesy. But it says, and he got mad and had the censer in his hand to burn incense. And while he was mad with the priest, the leprosy even rose up in his forehead before the priest in the house of Yahuwah from beside the incense altar. So, soon as he got mad, lost his temper, he was struck with the unclean thing. In the Bible day, when you got leprosy, nobody wanted to be around you. He got struck down. He got brought down real quick. Instantly. While he was standing there still swinging the thing, mad. He got struck down instantly. That was the beginning of his demise. Because it said it struck right in his forehead. So the people could see it. God made sure that the priest could see it. He unclean. He struck down. I'm striking him down right now as we speak. Right before your eyes. I'm bringing him down. He is no more clean to you. He is an unclean things. Unclean things can't dwell in the temple. Get him out of here. He dismissed. Get him out of the temple. I'm telling you, when you had leprosy, nobody wanted to be around you. Because that was a sign that you was cursed. That was a sign that you was unclean. Even things you touch would be considered unclean. If somebody touched you, they was considered unclean for a certain amount of time. And then they would have to go and show themselves to the priest. And the priest would have to look at them. Look them over and make sure they didn't see no leprosy coming up on them. So see, that leprosy was like the plague. And people avoided you like the plague. So God struck him down. He brought him down. And where he was once renowned and famous, he got brought down real quick and humble. To where people avoided him like the plague. All because that pride came and his heart got lifted up to his destruction. When destruction comes, that means it's destroyed. It's no more good. That's it, that's all. And it says, and they threw him out of there. And he hasted also to go out because the Lord had smitten him. So see, while they was talking, he was leprous in his forehead. So that means they looking at him and the unclean thing hit him right there in his forehead, in his face. So they seen it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, God, you get lifted up if you want to. God gonna bring you down right in front of people. He'll strike you down right in front of people. They'll see you getting brought down. They'll see you being humble real quick. They'll see your destruction. And it says, and Uzziah the king was a leper unto the day of his death. Was no coming back. Because he had transgressed against the Most High. He had started thinking it's him. He did all that. That he got strong by himself. That's why it's dangerous. When God bless you, you can't forget him. He died unclean. And it says, and this is how lepers had to do. And dwelt in several houses, being a leper. For he was cut off from the house of YAH. He was cut off from the house of the Lord. See, because no unclean thing couldn't come in there. No unclean thing can't come in God's sight. You unclean can't dwell in the sight of the Most High. And Jotham his son was over the king's house, judging the people of the land. So see, when you was a leper, you was here for so long, and then that where you was at got contaminated. So then you had to go to another house and stay there. And they had to make sure, after you stay there a week or so, it's in the scriptures to tell you like how many days it took. And then you had to go show the priest would come, they would see like if the things in the house had started changing, the leprosy, if it was spreading, if it was contagious, if it was spreading on your body. So just like the plague, he had to move around because once people knew like, he got that thing. Well, Uzziah was doing good, and then he got brought down. He got struck down with that thing. You don't want to get too close to him. He got that plague. People will avoid you like the plague. So, and he was cut off from the house of the Most High. You don't want to be cut off from God. You don't want to be cut off from His people. So stay humble. And remember, while you seeking Him and you see yourself being elevated and blessed, don't forget Him. When you see Him fighting for you and your enemies can't stand before you, and He start blessing the work of your hands and the things you love to do, He bless. And you see your confidence start growing, don't you get lifted up in your pride. Don't you forget who got you there. And your name start being spread as people start hearing about you. And your followers start growing. People start hearing about you on the other side of the world, in other countries, places you ain't never heard of. Your territory is being large. Don't you forget about God. Don't you transgress against the Most High and think it's because it's you. You ain't get you there. It's the Most High that marvelously helping you. So, that's the word. And I pray that it has blessed you. Blessed me. And until next time, peace. I love you. God loves you. And shalom.